So, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 25 of Crypto Waffle. Today, we are discussing Token2049, AI16's, I forgot what it's called now.
It's called Auto.fun from AI16Z.
Auto.fun and a global liquidity update. So we'll kick it off with Token2049. Now, prior to obviously this stream, I hadn't actually seen the lineup of Token2049. And looking at the lineup, they have got some serious faces. The two of the ones that I'm most confused about is Khabib. I might have actually butchered that, and Patrice Evra. Yes, butchers.
Is it Khabib Nurmagomedov?
Yeah, that one. You nailed that. Yeah, he's a fireside chat. New online is on chain, and then Patrice Evra is from football legend to AI and Web3 entrepreneur. So I think those are the most interesting ones. But we have some big names like Ansem, Raoul, Murad Mushtak, Richard Tang, Dan Morhad, Eric Trump, as well, Arthur Hayes, Raoul, Sheng Ping Zhao, some big name hitters attending. I'm surprised. What I was surprised is that was no Murad Mushtak.
Oh, was he not there?
No, he's not on the guest speaker list. I thought he would have done after his was it last year's one he did?
Yes, it was last year.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so he's possibly the only person of note who's not attending. I haven't seen Laura Shin either, or a well-known journalist from, I forget the name of her podcast, but I haven't seen her yet. But those are the only two that aren't here.
No, I don't see a Laura Shin. Yeah, so there's a lot of speakers. 8 of speakers.
Yeah. So we've got to say this is one of...
It does say and many more. So unless they're in that many more list.
Yeah. Shouldn't really put Laura Shin in the many more category. She's a bit too big time to be othered, I think. But I can't...
They've got a good lineup though. I assume I've never been to one. I'd like to go to a Token2049. I imagine you'd be absolutely drained by the end of it.
I think it's so. I think this might only be the third one or the second one. They haven't had many, so we are still quite early.
I've only heard good reports though from it.
Yeah. So the main thing I'm looking forward to, obviously as ever, is the hackathon. And a guy who I like to follow called Nader Dabit on X.
Who's hosting the hackathon this year?
I don't know. I don't know who's hosting it, and I don't know who's sponsoring it. It's normally the same people, but I would assume there probably is more than one, because there's a lot of different tech here, and every different tech will want to have their own hackathon, or at least be involved in one. So I think there's probably a bit too much tech here to only have the one hackathon. Let me see if I can...
They've got our meme coins dead or just waiting to return panel as well.
And no Murad on there.
Yeah, no Murad. You've got Ansem, Joe McCann, Cole Vogel, and Geordie Alexander.
Do you know what? That's interesting, because I wanted to do a SPX pump on the Token2049 conference play this week. I was going to say, right, Murad's going to speak at Token2049. When he speaks, he will mention SPX. It will pump the price, but he's not speaking.
Yeah, no, right. I'm not speaking.
I'm not entirely sure why.
I'm pretty sure Ansem mentioned it last time, though.
Yeah, but Murad's really into it. So Token20... Oh, hold on. So the last Token2049 was in Singapore
as well.
Yeah, there should be loads.
Yeah, there's loads of them that are streams live, so I'll probably be trying to catch a couple during the day. From Wednesday, I believe it starts.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I'm so surprised that Murad's not there. I'm so
Released
surprised.
that he did that like 2 hour Twitter video, didn't he? That he released.
Was that recently?
Yeah, not too long ago.
Yes, I can see it. The power of belief.
Quite good.
150 reasons why SPX 69 will reach 1 trillion in market cap. I don't know who sits down for 2 hours and watches that. Let's see if
Me.
let's see. We're seeing early signs of SPX achieving XRP ADA levels of social media dominance. There's a little video. Most decentralized and the most distributed.
It's a good video, to be fair, and you can see why he has such a big cult-like following, because he talks to your average people. It's not like he's talking to high grade Wolf of Wall Street style individuals. He's trying to engage with the average person.
I guess, and it's not super technical either.
No,
a lot of it's
simple concepts.
Yeah, which we can all get our heads around.
Yeah.
Which
anything else you want to mention on Token2049 before we jump to next one?
No, I wanted to see where the videos would be, if we could see where they would be, but
I believe it's on the YouTube or I want to say Twitter Spaces.
Yeah.
I saw.
Okay. So they've got official closing parties, opening parties. Everything else is free. Networking dinners, so much stuff.
Yeah, apparently the food there is unreal.
Yeah, well, it's Dubai, isn't it? So they're gonna have.
It's a big thing for me. If I was to go for a conference, I want to know that the food is good. But if we've got food, I'd be fuming.
I think we've got AVAX London coming up next month, which I'm gonna go to.
Have we?
Yeah, which I think the food will probably be shocking, but it'll be around the corner. So
where is that?
I believe it's in Hertfordshire. I want to say it's at Hatfield Uni. Sure, it's AVAX.
Sure, it's at Avalanche Summit London.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hatfield House.
Oh, okay, Hatfield House. Okay.
Yeah, it's London.
Which is not Hatfield Uni. I think Hatfield House is in central London.
Yeah.
Let me see. Hatfield House.
They got Anthony Pompliano's there. Anthony Scaramucci.
It is in Hatfield. Hatfield House is in Hatfield. Well, they said it's London. Yeah. It's just outside London. The lineup is not quite as sassy.
Not as sassy, yeah.
It's not quite as sassy.
Speakers though.
Yeah. I like Hasib from Dragonfly. He does a podcast that I like to watch.
Yeah.
So he'll probably be worth listening to. Stanley Kulichov from RV Labs. He'll be good.
I've listened to him though.
Yeah. RV are pretty serious. I think that's it, really.
Want to squad up, receive a discount with bulk buy.
So what should we go? Should we go as a team then?
Yeah, let's do it.
That's my wife.
B-Day performers as well. I love this. Interactive art, event sponsors will be on there soon. It'll be Crypto Waffle instead of whoever they are.
Mm-hmm. Well, interesting.
Boys Club CoinDesk.
Interestingly, they do also have a hackathon with a $50,000 prize or in prizes, which is actually not that much. Nah.
Not a bit of you.
Nah, it's not a bit of me. The prize pool's a bit too small for me. It's not enough to get my juices flowing. I'm waiting for, I think, Ethereum Amsterdam.
Yeah, I hope you didn't ask me to help you with the hackathon, because I'd just purely be there to cool you down if you were starting to get stressed. Like
yeah.
Water.
You know what?
I wouldn't have a clue.
You can also always be like the person who does the presenting at the end, where you just come on and just speak and just say, okay, look, this is what we've done. That would be good, because you've got history presenting. So as the TV star of the team, you could do the presenting.
Yeah.
The schedules looks good. Yeah, so there are quite a few interesting conferences coming up soon away from Token 2049, because there's this one, I think Ethereum or ETH Amsterdam, or ETH Dam as it's called. I think that's in May as well. Let me
Is there any
see.
other ones in London this year?
There'll be loads in London, but it's just about the quality of them, really. It's just about the quality of them. And some of them will be like blockchain. There'll be like blockchain conferences where they're not quite as crypto focused as I would like. They're a bit more businessy, where people are talking about logistics, and DHL turn up and all those kind of guys who are like 5 years behind the rest of us. They all turn up. What's that?
There's quite a few.
Yeah, so ETH Amsterdam is there, and then the big one I think is ETH. I want to say ETH Prague.
Which ones of these would you, if you were to choose one to go to, and you're trying to think from an average investor point of view, what are you going to? If you wanted to attend a conference. Now, I've only attended a couple. I've attended Bitcoin Amsterdam in 2021, I think it was. In 22. I attended a Coin Bureau event that was in London. Then I also did, was it Crypto Mondays or something? I think in London once. Yeah, I thought the Coin Bureau one would be the best. Like the best engaging visual. So that was Bitcoin Amsterdam.
Oh, really?
It was very for institutional investors.
Yeah.
Like if you were the average investor there, it's pointless you going because no one is on your page.
Yeah.
At all. But then yeah, Coin Bureau is best for networking, definitely. But see, he's more the individual person of his YouTube channel and whatnot.
I think sometimes it also depends where you are, because you kind of got like 3 different types of conference. I think you've got like these big catch-all events like your Token 2049 or Consensus, which is in Toronto in midway through May. You've got those big, and those are like big catch-all events. So if you're near to one of those, then they're good for everybody because there's so much stuff there. Then you've got like the smaller, like I guess, what's the word? Like focused on big firms and institutions. You've got like the institution-based conferences. Those I would say are a little bit less exciting for the average Joe, a little bit less exciting. Those are the ones where the tickets are really expensive and your company normally pays for you to go, and everybody there is really kind of feeling themselves. But then the best ones, which I like, are the really small, like niche, crypto-y, old school kind of actual conventions. Like the one that still goes now is probably MoneroCon. It's like a real old school, like we hate the government type situation. There's all these real super geeks in there really geeking out over the latest tech. But you'll usually find in those sorts of scenarios, you might meet the next superstar, because all of these superstars have been to those things. Like your Vitaliks and all those types of guys, they all start at those types of things. They don't start at the consensus, so they don't start at the institutional ones, because those guys are never in that lane. So yeah, for me, it's always the little small niche ones. That's where I found the best gems and met the best people actually altogether. But it depends where you are in the world. Another good one which I really like is Web Summit in November, normally at the end of the year in Lisbon. That's always really good. Yeah. That's not really so much crypto as it is internet as a whole, and crypto has just kind of taken over it. I'd assume this year
hackathons are very good as well.
Solana ones,
specifically Solana.
Yes, yeah. But again, those are very tech heavy.
Yes, yeah, those are be up my street.
No, those are very tech heavy. You'll spend a lot of time, like when I've been in those sorts of scenarios, you spend a lot of time kind of nodding and hoping that eventually you understand what the person's saying. You're just like, Yeah, yeah, and they're saying, oh, when we do this code and this cryptography and this many passes and this, that, and then you're like, yeah, sounds, yeah, yeah. We just goes right over your head. You end up with loads of conversations like that. But yeah, those are great places to go to see the next best thing. But the learning curve is real steep, is the problem. I'm gonna have to.
For our Solana phones as well, aren't we? Actually,
Yes, let me open this window. So I'm cooking in here.
still waiting for these Solana phones. I actually totally forgot about that. It's a good job we discussed that. So what's the update with Auto.fun and our 16Z's pump?
Right. Well, there is two things. First of all, they've had to rebrand. I believe they've had to rebrand because of AI16Z possibly saying, yeah, we don't want you to use our name anymore. But if I share my screen, I will show you our the actual app. So Auto.fun, yes, it actually has launched now. So the last time we looked, they had crashed because they didn't have enough I think it was database space. They were just basically, they just got swamped. So they released it and and they just got swamped. Now they've got it. It's basically pump.fun with AI bots, AI launching stuff. It is a load of
mental, isn't it?
Super degen trash. But I think we could sort it by market cap.
3.8K.
Yeah, but some of them are getting big though. So Ellis is a decent size. That one's been bonded. And this one, Casper, has been bonded. So some of them are decent sizes. Otto, I don't know what you need to get up to get bonded. I think it might be 5K. What is it?
What does bonded mean for people?
Bonded is when, so initially, people will put in money to buy up the token. When the token gets to a certain price, the liquidity that's in there gets moved into its own pool, where half of the tokens will be the actual token. The other side will be, it used to be Solana in the case of pump.fun. In the case of in the case of auto.fun, it's AI16Z plus, I believe it might also be Solana actually. But the interesting thing is, whenever people trade the token that you've created, you get a slice of the trading fees. So as a creator, yes. So as a creator, the idea is that they're trying to stop people from pumping and dumping by giving them a slice of all the trading that happens. So it's in your interest to just keep the coin busy, keep the coin relevant, as opposed to it being in your interest to ride it up, sell it all and get rid of it. So they've kind of changed the way the game is played a little bit, although I do think a lot of other projects will take on this tokenomics as well. But because they've done that, I think that has led to this, which is a pretty decent pump in the price. So I was waiting for this to be released as a entry excuse, and it has been. And over the last 7 days, you can see what it's done. So we've got, I think it's over 100% over the last 7 days. Yeah, so 99.9% price spike in the last 7 days. And I think that is mostly because people are launching these, or at least the thought that people are launching these as these get bigger, that will increase the demand for AI16Z, the token, in the exact same way that it increased the demand for Solana and increased the demand for Ethereum during the 2017 bull run. So yeah, so this one I think is definitely one to watch. Eliza is still
in the sense of just looking for maybe the new thing to come out of from the depths, or real tech that's built on this.
No, there's no real tech that's built on it, but I do think that the token itself will be backed by different projects, and I don't know what these projects are, but I'm sure if you joined the Eliza Discord, or you join the Discord of whatever this project is, maybe it might tell you. If you joined the project of whatever this project is, right, okay, so this is actually for the That's actually for the Auto.fun
Can you still
platform.
buy it in Sol as well, or do you have to buy it in AI16Z?
I guess you buy it with Sol, but it will be just, yeah, it's Sol. You buy it with Sol. So here, you can see here, it's showing Sol. You see that there? So I guess you use Sol to buy whatever it is you're buying. But I'm trying to see if I can... Oh, okay. So with this, you can generate images and whatnot. It's quite interesting.
It's just someone's dog.
Yeah. Shaw's dog.
It's Shaw's dog. Oh,
Yeah.
This space never fails to amaze me. It's just so random.
I'm wondering if this will let me create an image. Oh, right. To at least 10,000 tokens to generate images. Interesting.
What, of Casper tokens, I would presume?
Yeah, 10,000 Casper tokens. Not sure how much that will cost. Let's see. If we go Gecko Terminal, we might be able to find out.
It's quite...
Let's see. Let's see.
So what's the Gecko terminal? Is this like a deck screener, is it?
Yeah. But it's CoinGecko's one. So I'll show you the price. So there's the price. So I guess we copy that and that times 10,000. 84 cents. Well, that's not much.
Cheap as chips.
Yeah, cheap as chips. So for less than $1, you can get on there and start creating stuff.
Start creating photos of dogs.
Yeah. Why not?
Mad.
Why not? So yeah, so that's auto fun. So I do think it's worth checking out, keeping an eye on. I do think some good projects will come out of that pretty soon.
It wouldn't surprise me if we see something come out of there over a couple 100 million.
Yeah, something up closer to 1 billion, I reckon.
Right, and finally, let's go on to liquidity update. Let's share the screen. So this one is available for all of you guys. If you head yourselves to Twitter, look for this guy here, Chris Tipper, and he has posted the macro and global liquidity analysis for April the 28th. And you will find you'll find when you go through this, it gives you the through the core. So myself and my good friend ChatGPT, we're going to be as earlier, having a bit of a discussion. We come up with a nice summary for you guys. And if you guys can remember back to when we looked at these last time, we were in a strong bear market or Bitcoin. So we have made some ground up now with this metric.
You're kind of quiet, you know, Alex.
Can you hear me very well?
No, you sound kind of quiet.
Let me disconnect and then reconnect.
I don't know if it's mine.
Hear me now?
I can hear you, yeah, but you seem quieter than normal. Not sure if it's because I'm shouting or what.
Sure, what's going on? Hear me better now?
Yeah, is it my sound? Okay, go on.
Now?
Yeah, I think it was my sound was a bit turned down.
All right, okay. Let me see if I can get my headphones back, because I don't want to echo. And then, apologies for these technical difficulties. It is on both.
It's always Monday. We never have these problems.
Oh, that's annoying. I can't switch my mic whilst recording. That's why. It doesn't matter. It's using my laptop microphone. Silly me. Anyhow, back to the liquidity report. So if you get yourselves into here, you can go through it. I will read the summary and go along with the slides, obviously, to show where me and ChatGPT are getting these from. So this is the global liquidity and macro cycle as of April 2025. You can see this is a 3 to 4 year time horizon. You can see this was the peak back in 2020. Then we had our bear market bottomed in late 2022. And as you can see, we've had a very slow, steady increase on this dot chart ever since. So when moving into the Bitcoin cycle and where we are in this cycle, you can see we're kind of in the process like we were last summer, which looks to be bottoming out. What we'd like to see, obviously going forward into these reports, is we start to flick green and blue. When we start to flick green and blue, that is a signal that we may be gearing up for the next move. As you can see here, there was a little bit of blue, little green, and then bang, it was just straight bang. There was red, yellow, off to the races. So when looking at these reports going forwards, be sure to see if you can keep the old copy, and then you can see where we've come from effectively. Now, in the global liquidity cycle, since the 1970s, global liquidity has swung from ultra easing to tight money around 11 times. Each swing roughly matches big booms and busts. So these are around every 10 years, give or take. So 1970s was the oil shock. 1980s was Volcker's anti-inflation rate hikes. 1990s was SNL and Latin American debt crisis. 2000s was the dot-com bust. 2010 was the relatively tight overall, punctured by QE2 and QE3. I'm assuming that's from after 2008, 2009. And then in 2020, we had the massive COVID money injections, a sharp drop in 2022 and a rebound into 2025. And this is probably what we're seeing now. And you can see obviously on this dot plot as well that they've put in the headlines around these areas as well. So going forward, if you do want to pause on the replay, have a read through of this, feel free. But it gives you a slightly closer look at the global liquidity cycles, what happened during them, and all that stuff if you want all of that. But what we're here for is the simple stuff, the charts. The global liquidity index, as you can see, is moving up sharply in the last couple of days. We saw this obviously in mid-April or mid to late April with a slight rollover and then now basically coming back up again. Weekly global liquidity, 2018, the 28th of April 2025 has now hit substantial new highs. We hit a new high of 176 trillion after a big ramp up through Q1, which is obviously this move here that we've seen. Year to date, we have added 5.6 trillion over a 3-month growth of 11.2% annualized. Again, if you want to read all of that good stuff, feel free to pause and go through it here. Basically, the summary of this page here is the US Fed liquidity growth has reversed, down 7.6%. China's PBOC liquidity is down minus 16% on a 3-month basis. The ECB and Bank of England liquidities are also contracting. The bottom line is global liquidity is still high, but the engines behind it, naming the PBOC, the Fed, European Central Bank and the Bank of England, are slowing or reversing. So then how does this affect the Bitcoin cycles? So but just before the Bitcoin cycles, we do have this US growth 3-month leading indicator. You can see that this 50 level here would, I assume, would be ISM. Yeah, it is ISM PMI services. So we can see that looking at this indicators, we'd expect the ISM to maybe tick below back to say 46, 47, 48 in the coming months. Obviously, what we want to see is ISM sustainably get above 50, which also is one trigger to signify alt season. US inflation continues to drop, as seen here. US government debt and yields 30-year, 28th of April. I've just clicked off the wrong screen. As you can see there, and you can see US debt here just climbing massively. US debt and yields 5 years. See this chart here. And then into the dollar index. So we had this obviously very sharp set off in the dollar. Now at a big support area. What I actually think will happen if we go into my own charts later, is I think we get a rally maybe back up between 102 to 104 in the dollar over the coming weeks to months. And then global liquidity, rate of change, and Bitcoin. So we can see here that with global liquidity spiking, Bitcoin looks to have started its next move. And then here's the weekly global liquidity and Bitcoin. And you can see the kind of correlation there between each other. And then Bitcoin daily cycle signals. So if you don't know Bob Lucas, this guy down here, be sure to go over to Bob Lucas, look at how his daily cycle signals work. I'm not entirely up to date with how they test over time or whatnot, but they seem to have this 60-day cycle range, and it seems to last for around about that 60-day measurement before obviously turning. And then global liquidity index and gold. So you can see here that gold has obviously gone off to the races whilst liquidity's picked up. Gold is historically the first mover when liquidity starts to outpace. Here is it against silver. Silver normally lags. And then here is the gold-silver ratio, which is only the third time ever we have been up above this 100 level. I mean, on my chart. So if I stop sharing this quickly and go to my own chart, we will see we got this one here. And if I then go to the gold-silver ratio. So for you guys that follow or watch my weekly market updates, I covered this last week. And this is the third time in history that the gold-silver ratio has ever got to these levels. One here back in 1991, and then second time during the COVID crisis, and then the third time is now. And I think we will be replaying what has happened every other time, i.e. we poke our heads above and get hammered down, poke our heads above, get hammered down. What happens this time? Poke our heads above and get hammered down. I would be wrong, obviously, on the indication that we start holding up here on consecutive monthly closes, or I'd probably be looking for a quarterly close on a quarterly month chart before I to get too bullish on gold and say gold is going to continue to outperform, because in the shorter term, I do think gold's local peak is going to be in.
Is that mostly because silver has been performing so badly?
What's that, the gold-silver ratio chart?
Yeah. Is that because gold's doing so well, or is it just mostly because silver's doing so badly?
So obviously, I think in your gold story, there is a lot of weight behind it because of the tariff stuff as well. I don't know if you saw the headlines that basically the London gold vaults were being emptied to send to the US before the tariffs come into play. So London got rid, or everyone that held a lot of gold in London got it shipped back out to the US. So I mean, I think that was like a 3-month delay time on getting your gold from London. They're ridiculous. And do you know why that was? They put it down to the London traffic. Ridiculous. Crazy.
They're lucky that they got their gold back. If it was up to me, I would have said, well, listen, I'll give you an IOU. You're never getting it back. It's in our vaults. We've got to nave it.
I think there's part of it to be that story. There's also, everyone is aware of this currency debasement. And if you're of the, not to be rude, but the older generation and you don't understand maybe Bitcoin, is that they will go straight to gold. But it's the only hard money asset that they know of. I mean, and they might go with silver as well, but gold is the one that used to back the US dollar going back to, was it 19 something before? Is it Nixon that took them off of the thing?
Yeah,
so
70 odd.
Yeah, so I mean, I think there's a lot of things in it. I mean, when gold starts going, your average person, they see a headline, gold reaching all-time highs, what are they going to do? They're going to go, holy shit, I better get some before it goes even higher. So they go down the local market or wherever, buy themselves some gold jewelry, or go into the Raoul Mint website, buy themselves some gold coins. So I think there's a lot of it involved. People, I'd say, are more awake to the currency debasement thing now. So I think a lot of them do hedge themselves with it. I have actually just sold all of mine, for full transparency. I sold all of my physical gold. and looking to buy silver because of that gold silver ratio chart. And I think going forward over the next 6 to 18, maybe 24 months, silver will probably massively outperform gold because historically gold being the first mover out of those two metals. And obviously I'm looking for a percentage-wise gain. Yes, gold could go up here continually, but I think percent-wise silver will outperform in the not too distant future.
I'm just checking to see if there is such a thing as a silver stable coin.
There's not, because we've got gold in the crypto land.
Yeah.
The XAU, I want to say, is
Yeah.
silver. Although you can't leverage long it or short it anywhere. Access to it might. So it's not on Hyperliquid. It's not on BitGet. It's not on. What's the other one that I was going to lose? I can't remember now.
Yeah, so it's a. Oh, hold on. It's a tether. There's a gold tether.
Gold.
XAUT, yeah, digital gold backed by physical gold.
Yeah. So you can buy spot, but you can't seem to leverage trade it anywhere.
Right, but if Tether have got a gold, I'm sure they'll have a silver.
They haven't yet. Not that I'm aware of. I could be wrong.
No.
No, they haven't. See, for me, I would prefer to trade gold and silver in crypto, but we can't because this is gold, and that's our cup and handle pattern that has been forming for a while. The breakout for that takes us to around 3,700. I think we're putting in a local top here. I'm personally looking for a pullback to around the 2,800 area, maybe even lower to 2,500. But I think the majority of this, obviously, you can see here that gold has literally just been up and to the right since March 24, effectively. A minor pullback around Q4 last year, but since then has been up on it. And then what I'd love to always see is you see the gold balls come out of the woodwork with regards to Bitcoin. And I think you have to give a stark reminder that if you just chart it against each other, you can see that gold has underperformed Bitcoin ever since it's come out. Effectively, it's just been a down and to the right chart for a very, very long time.
I think that will continue. I think gold is too difficult to get hold of. All of this.
Look at it.
Yeah.
A shitcoin.
Looks like a pump and dump.
I mean, there's an argument to say that we've had a breakout here, but I think you maybe go as high as that support area there, then I just think you roll over.
Yeah. It's not a fair fight. What is the price of silver at the moment?
It's currently it sits in at $33.
Oh, so maybe this is a silver stable coin.
Because silver is very similar to the gold chart. We have this massive cup and handle, and at play we are above the neck runners of current, and the target for this cup and handle takes us to approximately $75 ish, give or take. Perfectly where this Trumbo's fib extension take profit level would be.
Well, I've found a silver stable coin called Kinesis Silver.
Okay. What's the ticker?
What is the ticker? KAG. Kilo Alpha Golf. Don't know if it will be on TraderView. It's 126 million market cap, so it's not.
Let's have a look. KAG. There you go. I've reasonably new.
Yeah, a couple of years.
I mean, it doesn't look like it's trading If we were to overlay Silverwall in, is that going to give us? See if this loads.
You can see a few little.
And then it's similar in a fashion.
It's not,
There's a lot.
It's not bad. Yeah, it's not bad. It just seems to depeg from time to time.
Yeah, probably because of the size of it though. It's like small, isn't it?
Yeah.
Tiny. It's a tiny thing.
Yeah.
So what I wanted to show on here, obviously coming off the back of that liquidity report, was this Bitcoin chart and global liquidity. So, as we know, a while back, we've been following this global liquidity chart for, well, probably the last 15 episodes of Crypto Waffle, if not probably more.
Yeah.
And if this gives us, if this loads in a second, you guys will see the Bitcoin up here initially when liquidity started to drop off looked like it was decoupling because Bitcoin was just chopping sideways. And then obviously as everyone was getting a bit bullish, thinking, oh my God, liquidity is reversed, Bitcoin hasn't dropped, this could be the time. Bitcoin just did its thing and shut everyone up for a while. And then scared a lot of people down here towards this 76k area. I don't know what is going on with this Wi-Fi today.
Oh, have you heard that they've switched the lights off in Spain and Portugal today?
Yeah, I saw that. What was the excuse they put out?
Some weird weather, they said.
Yeah. How coincidental.
How bizarre. Just when we needed a really crazy thing for them to pump some money in, all the lights go out.
If anyone's got any solar panels out there, you're doing all right at the minute.
Yeah.
So this is the global liquidity chart. So you will see here what I was saying a minute ago. So if I overlay that as a roughly, obviously please bear in mind there's probably out to a certain extent. This is what I was talking about. Bitcoin was going sideways, last liquidity was coming down. And everyone was getting a tad bullish, going, oh look, Bitcoin's holding its own, blah, blah, blah. We formed what could have said is ascending triangle here, or descending triangle. When we have a descending triangle with flat bottom, that's a bit with bearish patterns. We got the drop off, got the continuation, and we have just kind of formed this channel ever since. And then what we did see, so liquidity was telling us that Bitcoin would bottom between the 6th of March to the 6th of April. It looks as if we literally bottomed on the 7th so far. Touch wood. We've bottomed already. And we should be marching to new highs. Now, what I said a while ago, so looking at this liquidity chart, I don't know if you guys remember, but I said on this liquidity chart, we need to see substantial higher highs. Because at the time of saying that, liquidity was just up here again, and we were at resistance from this peak over here. Obviously, call me completely stupid for drawing TA on a global liquidity overlay, but hey-ho. And what you can now see, for reference, is substantial higher highs within liquidity. So if we then draw this back, I believe it works best with a 12 to 14 week lag, effectively, or forward looking, either or. If you want to go into the weeds of sorting that out. But what this is indicating that obviously is Bitcoin should be on its way to around that 150 to 120k mark over the coming weeks to months, starting into the summer. Now, I was watching a video from Benjamin Cohen today, and he was saying that these next couple of weeks will basically tell us how the summer's going to be. And the instance is that if we drop off, and he was saying come down to, let me get rid of that, it's a greater measure. And he was saying if we end up coming down to around here, so if we get a sell-off that creates new lows in the next coming weeks to a month, we should have a very bullish summer. In the instance that we come down and we just end up rallying for 4 or 5 months rather than what happened last year, which is this period here, where we literally chopped and went sideways for what felt like an eternity. effectively. Now, in the instance that we continue to pump, it would suggest that we pump into, like we did over here, into the late Q2 and then Q3, or early Q2, and then late Q2 and Q3 will be very slow for crypto markets. So what we're basically waiting for is for this next leg up, like we've been having all cycle long. Effectively, how high do we go on that next leg? Who knows? Could it be 150k? Yeah, sure. But what would you expect from there? I'd expect us to come up to whatever area we choose. Let's call it 140k. And then I think you probably roll over, retest this 110k area, maybe chop a little bit more, and potentially look for another leg. If not, I think that could potentially be a top, and you start looking at bear markets. But ultimately, we'd have to see how news outflow, liquidity plays, and all these other things that come into account when discussing all of this stuff.
So we kind of want prices to go down so that they can go up higher. Is that what you're telling us?
I think so. I think that's the gist of the story. What we might want to say, I mean, if you overlay liquidity with the NASDAQ, it's showing us that we could be in for a drop within the first 1 to 3 weeks of May. And then after May, we get this big bounce. Who knows if we're bouncing through May, June, July, and August. I mean, that could happen if we do get this sell-off that's suggested. Like I just said, that sell-off would indicate we have a better summer, which I think would be good. But then again, if we do start just continuing to move over the next coming weeks to a month, expect summer to be a long, drawn-out process, kind of like last year's. That could be quite painful.
And then into the bear market. How low do we go in the bear market coming up?
Ooh. Now, assuming we don't know where the top is, if I'm looking at my chart and oh Christ, what the hell did I just do?
Let's imagine our clock is 150.
150k.
Yeah. 150k is the top. Where do we go back down to? And the depths of the bear market.
I want to say we could go down to about 50, but there is one thing I want to say on this. So if anyone has a Real Vision subscription, okay, or follows Real Vision, or you might follow the guy himself, his Twitter handle is Jam Croissant, okay?
Oh, you love this guy, don't you?
Yeah, he's great. Now, he predicted, I'm going to get the charts up. Let's go into it. Because obviously I'm a visual person. I like charts. I like showing charts. Now, a while ago, when the S&P was back at its highs, we're talking about over here, there was two people that I watched that indicated a big sell-off, okay? There was Dale Pinkett at TradeGate Hub. Now, he is purely TA. No fundamentals involved, purely technical analysis. He was saying that the S&P is in this big broadening wedge, okay? And when we were at the highs of 6K, he was saying he sees the possibility at this bottom boundary between 4,750 to 5K. And that was the bottom of this broadening wedge. What's happened? We had that sell-off. Now, the only other guy that was saying at the top here, in the shorter term, we could see a big sell-off. Now, his targets were 5,200 to 5,500. This green box here were obviously surpassed. Okay, now he released a new video on Real Vision. For members, that you'll get that at some point. But the gist of the story, okay, is that he sees a 40% sell-off in the S&P at some point in the next, I want to get the timings right here, of 2026 to 2028, I believe. Now, what he said before I go into that that target, that 40% sell-off, he said from when we reach down here, we would see a big counter trend rally. Okay, and so far we have seen a nice bounce. We've obviously bounced from 4,800 all the way back up to, where are we now? 5,500, give or take. He doesn't suspect that we make new highs from here. So that would indicate maybe going, I think he's targeted around 5.7 to 6K ish at the moment, give or take, but he's not targeting new highs. Now, the broadening wedge would suggest new highs. If this pattern obviously is to play out, and for this to play out, you'd have to play it simply just by level by level. So once we've claimed one level, we've got to get back above the next, and so on and so on. So if I just draw those little letters out here, you will see that for us to even have another run at the highs at 61.1 or 6,100, we need to get past 5,650 and 5,7. What's that? 5,770, give or take. Okay. Now we are in this counter trend rally, and obviously tops. What he's saying is that the topping patterns are a process. They take a while. Does this mean that Bitcoin can't scream higher? No, Bitcoin can, and it has showed us that it's continuing to move back to the upside. But what he's saying is that we are in a topping moment in the S&P per se, and he's expecting the S&P to come down to this green box down here between 3,300 and 3,900 over that 2026 to 28 time frame. Now, he reckons it will be a 40% drawdown from peak to trough. So let's assume the S&P gets back to prior highs at 6,100. A 40% drawdown just take us to around about that 3,600. If we don't make that and say we only get up to back around the 5,800, let's call it, 40% drawdown takes us to 3,477. Now, what is the event that causes this? I don't know. It's hard to say. I don't think anyone can sit here and say, oh, yes, I know what is happening, blah, blah, blah. But what he does bring up is the 1970s. So he reckons we could be in for a period of this where the market kind of doesn't go anywhere, but it's very volatile, hence the broadening wedge pattern here before us coming out. So could we be looking at going for a period that is inherently more volatile, obviously with big price swings to the upside and to the downside? Yes, sure. But we have to remember that what has the S&P done? Obviously, I'm thinking as a 25-year-old here, year after year after year, and for decades on end, up and to the right. And for me, until that underlying fundamental that governments globally will stop printing, I think this remains up and to the right until obviously we have this fourth turning moment, whatever you want to call it, that the dollar comes off of this world reserve currency level. So
I don't think that's possible, is it? I don't think it's possible that
No.
the money printer stops just the way.
I don't, especially in the short term, like the next, I'm talking 5-10 years. I don't see that happening. Obviously, going out to the future, I could see that for various reasons, but in the short term, I don't believe there's anything to worry about. I am actually of the opinion that we will make new highs. I personally think that a lot of people will be looking at this going, oh my God, we're not going to make highs. And I want to be the contrarian in all these scenarios. If people are saying we're going to have a big bear market, I want to be that mega bull that's going, okay, if everyone's prepping for a bear market, then it's not going to happen. That's effectively. And there's a lot of people that I saw a tweet the other day, there's still like there's over $5 trillion just in cash in the sidelines.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of money to come flooding back in. Like, I don't know if you watch or follow, on X, you have like, is it Wisdom Whales or whatever it is, but they'll tweet like over $1 trillion added to the US stock market today, over $1 trillion withdrawn from the stock market today. And it's just these big moves in here. So if we go to these daily candles, like they might not look like much on the chart, but these big red and green candles in here, that is trillions of dollars coming and out of markets. Like this green candle here was like the biggest day ever recorded in stock market history. for money coming back into the pumpers.
That was a big rebound day, though, weren't it? That was after horrific down days. Yeah.
Yeah, and but the MIT report we went through last week, like the AAI or AAII bear index, was like massively overblown. There's so many bears out there, and that when everyone is bearish, you want to be the contrarian bull. Now, if everyone is obviously very uncertain at the minute, and it's clear to see that everyone's uncertain, the markets are pretty much sideways at the minute. Obviously, I'm of the opinion, as I said a minute, that I think we actually go to new highs. I don't think a lot of people would be expecting it. But then I'm also of the opinion that we could go lower. I don't think this low unless there was some serious event. Could that be that the world loses power, a bit like Spain was showing us today, and that everything gets knocked off? Yeah, sure. But if everyone's got no power, how is the market going to sell off? Plus, we also have the what do they call it in the S&P and that, the stop breaks. So if the market falls too much too fast, they just stop it, don't they? They cease trading.
Yeah, no more trading.
Effectively. So I don't think they will drop that fast, that quickly. But then again, I'm a 25-year-old. If it happens, I'm using that as a great buying opportunity in my book. Obviously, for people that may be sitting in their 70s, 60s, they'll be going, holy shit, that is my pension that's staying there, and that could take 10, 15 years to recover.
Yeah. Time which they may not have.
Yeah, and everyone's in a different scenario.
Yeah.
So it's not an easy spot. We're not in an easy market, dare I say. It's definitely not in the set and forget 20 years time, or no, sorry, 5-10 years time, you'll be okay. We are in a very, very difficult market right now.
I think this time it is actually different. Like every cycle, they say this time is different. I feel like this time it's actually been different. This one feels different to all the other cycles. Should we do our predictions?
Yeah, so let me get the screen back up. I think we did really well this week, actually.
Oh, we were brilliant this week. Yeah, we were brilliant this week.
Where are we? Right, so for the people that don't know, quick recap of what this is. Every week at the end of Crypto Waffle, me and Crypto C we make a prediction of where we think assets will go, price targets within that next week. Then at the end of our 5 chosen assets, we put on a live trade for one of our predictions, and that is our $100 to 100K challenge that we have set ourselves. So obviously you'll see what we did last week, if it worked or not, and you'll see what we're doing for next week. So just as a little recap. So to kick off, Bitcoin. I had a bearish view. I didn't think we were going to get through. I was wrong, but you have completely nailed it. And we are above where your prediction was with, what, 92K, I believe?
Yeah. They say a broken clock is right at least twice a day.
Yeah, well done, sir. Perhaps predictions.
Every week I turn up and I say bullish, bullish, bullish. Eventually, gotta get it right, you see.
It'll work.
It will work eventually.
We must have put on... So I must have predicted, obviously, is here. So that probably wasn't fair, was it? I mean, we went to a low of 83K. I was predicting 82. So not a million miles off, but no road. Yeah. Solana. Yeah, both massively hit targets. Where was Solana?
Solana was down. It was low. Yeah, I went crazy on Solana because I felt like it had I felt like it was oversold.
Yeah. Yeah, so sorry, Monday was here, wasn't it?
Yeah.
About 135K. Yeah, perfectly hit your area of 150K.
Yeah.
And since then, kind of tapped back a bit. And unfortunately, my estimate of Solana coming back to 120 was wrong for last week. Doge. Unfortunately, I want to give this to you because you were... what was your target? 20 cents?
20 cents, yeah.
Yeah, we hit 19.3.
So close.
But I'd like to give you that. So I'd like to say that you're 3 out of 3 so far.
Doge has been a stable coin for the last week. It's not done the moves it should have done. Yeah.
I mean, I had a nice move on Tuesday after Crypto Waffle when
Yeah.
speaking about it. And it's kind of been sideways chop. But thankfully none of those three were the chosen ones for trades.
Oh, don't know. What were our chosen ones? I think Doge was. I had Doge. So Doge was one of my chosen.
I had. Oh, did I have Fart Coin?
I will tell you.
Well, Fart Coin was my first one that I got wrong. I got right this week. And you did as well. It hit your target of 120 and my target of 110. So we both got that right. You are 4 for 4 so far, sir.
Yeah, but then look what I done.
Yeah, unfortunately. I didn't. I mean, yeah, you weren't. You were well off.
Yeah, because I thought because this is the key, right? You get Bitcoin right, you get everything right. It's that easy, right? If you get the Bitcoin part right, you get everything right. So if you're bullish Bitcoin, you just got to be bullish everything else, and then congratulations. So I thought, if I'm bullish Bitcoin and then I'm bullish everything else, I would get everything wrong. So let me have a banker, which is bearish, so that if I'm wrong, at least I don't get nothing. Like, I don't want to get big fat zero. So hype was my insurance bet.
We were still what, about 50%?
Yeah.
Because you nailed 4 out of 5. I also nailed 5.
You nailed the other one.
Yeah. So probably 60-40 this week.
Interestingly, I think because we both went long on our chosen bets, I think that kind of goes to show that my conviction in bullishness was stronger than your conviction in bearishness. You was kind of like in about bearishness, and I was quite like right about bullishness. I was like, yeah, we're gonna go. So that's a good sign. Yeah, so we done Doge and Sol, and we hit them both.
Perfect.
I think we hit them within 24 hours.
Brilliant. That's what I like.
Yeah, I think we hit them both within 24 hours.
Cash.
Well, I'll tell you what. No, I can tell you exactly how we did it. We opened the longs on the 21st at 7 o'clock, and they got closed. The Sol got closed on the 22nd, so just over 24 hours later, and then 2 hours after that, Doge got closed as well.
Perfect.
So yeah.
So where do you think we'll be going this week? Bitcoin. Where do you think we will be? Obviously, the line in the sand for us to be holding now is around this 90 to 91k, give or take.
Well, let's have a gaze.
See, I think that we chop. But chop's not really an option, is it? We have to say up or down.
Yeah. I'm of the opinion we probably hold this week, as much as I want to actually go bearish.
Yeah.
I do think we come in to revisit this 88. But I don't know. If we can hold this 90-91, I actually think we could take a stab at like 9800 for a week.
Oh,
Bullish.
gosh. This is so difficult.
I'm going 98. I think we're going for it. I mean, we have one more week of up before we see any potential down.
Okay. Let me see. Well, I'm just checking the indicators that I like to look at.
What are the indicators?
I like to look at the VIX. I like to look at the stock market.
Stock market didn't have a great day today.
No, 200 points. Big tech slides on.
Down a bit, but I mean, looking at my chart, just like we're hitting support. So the same for the Nasdaq, supporting here at the 19.2.
And we're hitting it.
And and it's turnaround Tuesday tomorrow.
Oh yeah, come on then. All right, let's go. No.
So
I'm gonna go 99.
99.
I'm gonna go 99. Let's get back.
Town.
Yeah, we're gonna get right back close to 100, and then we're gonna dump.
Yeah.
100 is that ceiling that we hit.
That could be spot on.
Yeah.
Do you want to continue with Soul or do you want to swap it?
Let's swap Soul out. Let's
go for Sui.
Oh, Sui's a good shout, actually. Yeah.
Belter.
Yeah, let's do Sui.
Last couple of days.
I think Sui will continue to belt.
Where do you think we're going? Currently at resistance at 361.
No, we're gonna go and see the other one. $4.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Where are we? Where's $4? There.
Can you do a straight, like a vertical line as well of where we are now, so that next week when we come back to it, we can see where he was when we done the line.
So I'll do a little cross, like a sniper cross.
Yeah. Perfect.
We know where we perfectly got in the trade.
Yeah.
Well, everyone can see that there. Why isn't that? That was the wonkiest line I've ever seen.
It was all right, wasn't that?
That's very predicting. So you're saying $4?
Yep.
So I want to say we could come back down into 320 before we bounce.
Stop it.
Does that happen within a week?
You've gone bullish on BTC. There's no way.
But we know what alts are like. But then to be fair, Sui's not your average alt. It has just... But are we going to continue to see green? Look at that. Look how much green we've seen.
Yeah. Only a fool would say...
Tad bearish.
Yeah, only a fool would say higher.
No, but I think it will go higher by the end of the week. But I think we have to come down and hit this first. I'm going to say 320.
Okay. So maybe we're both right.
Yeah, I think this could be one of those ones where we both take the that. Right, so that is that. Dogecoin, I would like to put forward that we swap this out for SPX this week.
Come on.
Because I think that will be doing the next fart. So get rid of Doge, SPX. Currently have at play now for people that have been following me and might have been saying on this. This is the fart coin chat. We have the big head and shoulders, a target of approximately 214. We are currently sat at 112. If we get past this area of resistance around the 120, 130 to 120, 110 to 130, we will be on our way to $2. SPX is at that same moment, but a hell of a lot earlier on. Okay, it's beautiful. It is a piece of art. And it takes us all the way to prior highs at 160. So I think, and talking of Token2049...
Well, no, but he's not there. Murad's not there, is he?
What if he gate crashes?
Yeah. What if it's like in WWE when someone just turns up and like choke slam CZ?
He's on stage, yeah. Yeah, I was going to say choke slams Asim on stage.
Okay, yeah,
I'm gonna go mega bullish SPX. Actually, not mega bullish. So I've got to bear in mind we are trading this as well. I'm gonna go SPX to 75 cents.
All right, I'm gonna go 80.
80 cents.
Yeah,
Lovely stuff.
Oh, if we have a bad week, we could end up with zero, you know.
No, we are risk managed. We are risk managed, so there's no need to worry about that. There's our targets.
Look how high they are. Did you put the cross in?
No, I didn't. Let me put the cross in before I forget. Cross, cross, cross. There it is. Boom, boom. Right, Fartcoin, what would you like to swap it out for? Should we do some layer ones?
Oh, yeah. Let's do... which L1 should we do? Well, we've done Sui, which is...
Wow, have we?
We have done Sui. Should we do Monero? Monero's an interesting one, actually.
Why don't we do privacy stuff? Monero, and I'll do Zano.
Okay. Did you hear what happened with Monero today?
Yes. So wasn't it some hacker or something started
Yeah.
Monero like $350 million of Bitcoin or something?
Yeah. Yeah. So someone got hacked for 300
Monero?
XMR.
XMR, that's it. Yeah, and it spiked like 50%, didn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. Because the liquidity on it is so thin because there's no exchanges that have it.
Yeah. Look at that, mad.
It's crazy because that means that what happens when the exchanges do get it? What happens when Monero goes on Coinbase? Is Monero not on Coinbase?
I don't think it was, but I want to say it is back on there now since Gary's left.
No, it's not directly tradable on Coinbase, according to AI.
Right, so on Monero, I want to say that the trade. Oh, it's a shame we're not hell if I'm not higher, no, because I'd definitely be saying lower.
Yeah.
I want to say we come back down to 240.
Yeah. Absolutely. So this is the opposite of the mantra trade that we done two weeks ago, where it had dumped massively the week before, so we bought it. This one has pumped massively the week before, and so
I think you said it.
Yeah, you short it.
So where do you think you're gonna go? You going lower than me?
The thing is, it is
An argument.
because it's still an upward market.
Yeah. So there's an argument to say on this bigger time frame that 240 is major support on the monthly, or that area of around say 215 to 250-ish.
Oh, wait.
Has a serious volume candle as well. Holy crap.
That's crazy. That's one guy. But what he has done is brought attention to Monero.
Yeah, but they'll probably be gone by next week.
Yeah, that's true. There's so much other stuff to talk about. Yeah, all right. Just sack them off. 240.
240, yeah?
Yeah.
Right, where are we? 240. Are you the same as me?
Is that what you said? That's where the line is. That was quite easy, isn't it? Or you could have said 235, but...
That's right. We'll go together. Lovely. And then finally, Zano, the darling. Boy, this thing is an absolute beauty to swing trade with your bags, by the way.
If you've got the metal.
So good. Honestly, I sold up here at like 10, bought back at like 9.20, and I sold some more again at 10, and then bought back at like 9.50. Just increasing that Zano bag, stacking it.
Yeah. It's a good project as well.
Well, I know nothing. All I know is that you told me about it, and that's all I need.
Yeah, the guys behind it are those guys that, like, I'd have a conversation with and there'd be a lot of yeah, and not understanding what they're saying.
But then that's also a good thing in a way.
Yes. Yeah, it means that they're doing something worth doing.
Yeah, it's a great thing. I think it's because, and I'll tell you what, Zano trades so if everything else is up, Zano will be down, and if everything else is down, Zano will be up. This thing has its own. It trades on its own. It trades with nothing.
Does what it likes.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go bullish. I'm looking at $12.
You were looking at 13, weren't you? You thought you'd play it safe.
I was. Yeah, but I've got to bear in mind that we will be trading. We've got to take this into account.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 13.
13, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's bang out those areas of resistance. 13 there. 12 is slightly lower one at there. I think that's a...
You know what? I told you to get into Xano at like $3.
Still not own any?
Nah.
What are you doing?
I'm upset that I didn't get it when I wanted it. I've got like a micro bag, but it's
Crow bag.
yeah, like literally a purse. It's not even a bag. It's a purse. I've got a purse.
I had a massive bag. It's nowhere near as big as I shouldn't have done what I did, but hey ho. Because I sold it all literally up here at like 15, and I was going to back up the truck with the whole lot that I sold, but whilst everything else was dipping, I was picking up other stuff with the funds that I should have kept for Xano.
Yeah.
So the bag's nowhere near as big as it was, but it's still decent. But let me put our crosshairs in, and then it was over to you. There we go. So to recap, we have Bitcoin with targets of around 100. Both in Sui, I'm targeting 320. You're targeting $4. SPX, I'm targeting 75 cents. You're targeting 80 cents. XMR, we're both targeted at 240. And then Xano, you are targeting $13, and I'm targeting 12.
Well, we can't do Xano. There's no chance that's going to be on Hyperliquid. I don't even think Monero will be on there.
Really?
Nah, Monero's not on there.
Gee whiz, so we're only stuck with 3 assets. Bitcoin, Sui, and SPX. Do I take SPX?
Hold on. I think wait a minute.
We found it.
Yeah, I've done something crazy. No, it's not on there. No, it's not on there. Okay, yes, we've only got Bitcoin, Sui, and SPX. You want to take SPX, do you?
I would like to take SPX if that's okay.
All right. What do you want to do? How much of the bag?
Do you want to share screen?
Share my screen.
Let's definitely look at recaps first for last week. So we both closed, didn't we?
We both closed. Both took profit.
Sausages. Profit.
Trade history. So Sol closed.
13 and $8. Boom, boom.
Yeah.
We're on a roll.
We are on a massive roll at the minute.
This was a roll.
This was the big boy though. The mantra.
Your call.
That was the big boy. That was easy though. That would have been like our Monero today if we shorted it. That wasn't it.
I mean, what's that? 3 weeks on the trot now that we're positive,
Yeah.
I believe.
So we are now at $138. So we're up 38%.
Not bad. Not bad.
Then is it so?
Right, I would like to take SPX, and I would like a take profit of, yeah, I could go there. 68 cents. I want to say 70, but because we're trading, I should want to, get the stuff and be gone.
Yeah.
Those, as you stuff it, yeah, we're going 70. 70 cents, take profit, and then I would like a stop loss at... One second, let me calculate. Okay, so I'll go to my... I have a stop loss of 52 cents.
All right, so how much do you put in? A quarter?
Yeah, quarter.
Quarter of the bag. How much is that? $35.
It's about right, isn't it?
Yeah. Long. There we go.
Lovely jubbly.
Okay, we got some new listings. Hyper, USD, Zora, and Init. Okay, we don't care about those.
Which one are you going to go for?
I've got to do silly, haven't I?
I should take Bitcoin.
Bitcoin doesn't move enough.
Yeah, but you've got 3x leverage. Still, it's a 6% move to your target of 100k. So that's 12, 18%. It's a safer bet.
You think? Because Sui's had that massive green candle.
I think. But then again, you could argue that Bitcoin's those big green candles over the
Yeah, true. They both have, haven't they?
last couple of weeks. They're very similar. But yeah, market is in indecisive mode.
Yeah. So if we didn't have to put bets on now, I wouldn't actually buy or sell right now. Not with leverage.
I'd rather stay flat.
I would sit quietly and wait for a move that I can bet in a change of direction.
Yeah, it's a shame we can't get on the Monero.
I know.
Because that'd be a banker per se, wouldn't it?
Yeah, no, look, it's definitely not here. It's not here as XMR. No, it's not here. I wonder if any of the privacy coins are there. No Zcash.
Well, I've got a talk on Zcash at Token2049 as well.
They will do some that massive VC coin in it. All right, so I'm going Sui.
Sui, where do you think we're going? You going with your target?
What's this? Oh, we'd come down from 3.8. When was we at 3.8? Today. It was kind of.
Yeah, we were near enough 386 today.
It's been really volatile today.
It was because we were up before stock market. I think. And obviously, as stock market opened, sell off, everyone shits himself.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, that makes me feel a lot better about it. What am I going for? $4. Can I do my take profit at 390?
Yeah. And that's smart. I haven't gone for the full SPX. 75 cents. I've gone for 70.
No, because you remember a couple of weeks we had it where it came right close to our take profit, and then the market swung and it went back down. Yeah, we're not getting caught out like that again. My stop loss 330, 335.
It's tight, isn't it?
I think that's tight.
Was it 390 you say for take profit?
Yeah, 390 take profit. Both of them are quite tight in there.
Yeah, it's tight.
All right, then you go.
Yeah, I think if you're going to have one, it'd be around there.
I'll go 320.
320, what, for 390 still?
Nah, $4.
Yeah.
Let's go big or go home.
35 bucks again.
Yeah, which is
$35
around here.
Sorry, guys, I'm not taking the mic, but I just say it at the time for you Americans. Well, so yeah, honestly, whenever I'm talking about dollars, I just got bucks.
Right, you're not allowed to go to America ever. You might not make it out alive.
The Brits, didn't they?
Yeah, not when they're taking the mic there, eh? But I'm going to place this order. I'm going to place this order. You reckon?
Yeah, go for it. If you can't beat them, join them. And I'm planning to join them.
All right. So you're already up 2%.
Quick,
He's
take
money.
the dollar. That buck, man. But that buck off the table.
Okay, so next week we'll be back. We'll see if we make these targets.
Yeah.
I don't know. What is that sound? Is that you or me?
Might be my dinner being cooked.
Oh, okay. Sounds yummy. All right. So yeah. So we've got our two bets in this week. We are long SPX and we are long SUI. We've got our take profits. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll hit them. If you are interested in keeping up with us, join our Telegram. The link is on CryptoWaffle.fun. So go to our nice website. I'll see if I'll show you it. It's really nice. I'm very excited about it. CryptoWaffle.fun. So this is our wonderful website. And then you scroll down to, where are we? Here. And you click join the free channel. If you want to join the premium, you're also welcome. But the free channel is fine. Premium is for if you really want to get into it with us. So, yeah. Crypto Waffle. I've been Cryptosi. And this is
I've been the Financial Navigator. Until next week, we shall see you soon. Adios.